Donald Trump just got out of a meeting. He's announcing the end of the war. And for much greater news in regards to this entire situation, after the count them, three Islamic terror attacks that took place on U.S. soil yesterday. All right, so that's 5 in a week, 3 in a day. It's pretty good. Essentially, Congress, at least the based part of Congress, is actually pushing towards mass denaturalization of citizens. I've been saying this for years, god damn it. Remember when I told you that deporting illegals is not the conversation anymore? Mass denaturalizations is the conversation? Well, I was literally proven correct within a month. And wait until you hear how the Islamic community has responded to these calls for mass denaturalizations with violence. Wow, they're really making their argument good. Oh yeah, you want to denaturalize us? Well, I will support many more terror attacks. Fantastic job. Fantastic job, Subtard. Sub 70 IQ, you've played yourself, motherfucker. Insane deep dive for you today. I did all the research. Let's dive into it. Donald J. Trump has tweeted, "We are totally destroying the terrorist regime of Iran, militarily, economically, and otherwise. Yet, if you're reading the failing New York Times, you would incorrectly think that we are not winning. Iran's navy is gone, their air force is no longer, missiles, drones, and everything else are being decimated, and their leaders have been wiped from the face of the earth. We have unparalleled firepower, unlimited ammunition, and plenty of time. Watch what happens to these deranged scumbags today." God damn it. They've been killing innocent people all over the world for 47 years, and now I, as 47th Presidente of the United States of America, am killing them. What a great honor it is to do so. We are liberating the Iranian people and also a lot of goats. Goat rape will be outlawed in Neo-Iran. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. I was watching Star Wars, how Anakin was taking out the sand people, and I was like, wow, I am also taking out sand people. All right, we got to keep going. The hard-hitting, riveting commentary you're not going to get anywhere else. So, Justin, President Trump tells the G7 leaders Iran is about to surrender. And this is pretty incredible. It's like, it's very nice that he's letting them know as if the G7 leaders have literally any power. Man, I see a lot of people upset with my foreign policy opinions, and then I realized that all the people upset with my foreign policy opinions are Islamists and non-Americans. Americans love my foreign policy opinions. Oh, you're not familiar with my foreign policy opinions? Oh, let me explain. If they're trying to kill you, you blow them up. Efficiently, quickly, swiftly. I don't believe in proportionate response. You kill them. You eliminate the threat. They're trying to kill you, they gotta fucking die. That's my political stance. You could argue it's heavy-handed. I argue that it's correctly handed. We obliterate the fucking shit out of them. We have the means, we have the military. They still decided to fuck around. They're gonna find out. Thank you for your attention to this matter, you fucking faggot. Anyway... Iran has been going insano style, alright? They actually struck Jerusalem with a ton of cluster munitions, which are technically a war crime in case anyone's paying attention or cares. Not that anyone does, because when terrorists do war crimes, it's like, well, they're terrorists. Of course they do war crimes. But when we do something that's considered a war crime by international law, all of a sudden everyone loses their shit. Have you noticed the asymmetric warfare that we need to be fighting every single day? Just hoping you're noticing. Pay attention to the noticing. So, Old Jerusalem was attacked by Iran. One of Iran's cluster munitions landed hundreds of meters, hundreds, not thousands, hundreds of meters from Jesus' tomb inside the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, the Western Wall, and Al-Aqsa Mosque. These motherfuckers are literally bombing their own holy sites. That's how fucking deranged they are. Alright, they're terrorists. You shouldn't be surprised. I'm just trying to really hammer home exactly what we're destroying here. Like, I have midwit fatigue out the wazoo. Actually, why didn't they just give Ayatollah Khomeini a trial if they didn't like him? I don't know, man. Maybe it's because he's a fucking terrorist dictator that's massacring tens of thousands of his own people and bombing millions around Iran for the last 47 years. All right? We removed a cancer by getting rid of that motherfucker. And I will not apologize. Now, obviously, the third world is losing their mind in the greatest possible way. All right? So, you have to understand, AI has one-shot the entire third world. So they went from posting AI videos of Israel getting destroyed to say they win the war, now saying they have killed Netanyahu because Netanyahu gave a speech, and they're like, oh my god, if you look at this speech, last time I checked, humans don't normally have 6 fingers, AI does. Is Netanyahu no more? 30,000 likes, 3 million views. He has 5 fingers. I don't even know what they're looking at. So, like, let's understand, all right? Every time they see a real image, they're like, It's AI. Actually, we've already killed you. And I know that because I watched an AI video of us killing you. So I know that when you show us real videos of yourself alive, that must be AI. These people are so deluded, they're convincing themselves of things that don't happen, and then when they see with their own eyes things that are happening, they're then convincing themselves that the things that are happening are actually not happening because of the things that aren't happening that one-shot their entire nervous system. All right, we have one-shot the third world with AI. They were clearly not ready. They were not ready for this level of technology. Like, I know this might sound racist, but I'm convinced that, like, there's a huge part of Africa that's just, like, looking at AI images the same way your grandfather is using an iPad. But anywho, we're not getting into racism. There was a tragedy. 4 confirmed deaths in an aircraft that crashed in Iraq. This apparently was not destroyed by friendly fire or enemy fire. Refueling aircraft went down in western Iraq. 4 of 6 crew members on the board of the aircraft confirmed deceased as rescue efforts continue. Circumstances of the incident under investigation. However, the loss of the aircraft was not due to hostile fire or friendly fire. We don't know why this happened or how this happened, but an airplane did crash, and it is a tragedy. We got to keep praying for our troops. It's a real tragedy. But anywho, as Iran keeps going, they're not only bombing the old city of Jerusalem, they're bombing everybody. They're bombing Dubai. People not involved in this war at all. Like, dude, look at this. Like, this is insane. Like, yes, they are literally terrorists, just bombing the United Arab Emirates, all right? This is Dubai, right? This isn't Israel, it's not Iran, it's Dubai. No idea why they're doing this other than the fact that they're literally terrorists. It's insane. But anywho, Stephen Miller dropped a nuke on Fox News regarding all this.
Important to understand that, again, the leadership class of this evil regime has been wiped out. Nobody has seen the Ayatollah Jr. Nobody has seen proof of life. He didn't show his face on a TV camera. All we have is a statement that is purported to belong to him as a symbol and a signal of how degraded this regime is.
Yeah, they're cooked.
And again,
they're cooked.
We're talking about how...
And then the third world is like, Iran is so winning. Iran is winning, guys. Bro, they're getting so gobbledy-smacked. They're getting gobsmacked to next week. Literally, I would say bombed back to the Stone Age, but some would argue they're still in the Stone Age. But these guys are getting so obliterated that the current supreme leader of Iran is probably dead.
In a matter of days, a regime that has terrorized and menaced the world, that has used missiles to blackmail the world, has been degraded and has been set back to a degree that few thought possible. Ship after ship sunk, launcher after launcher destroyed, outpost after outpost, command center after command center taken off the map. So this has been a huge success for America, but the president is continuing to move forward to further annihilate, obliterate, and destroy the regime's capacity to threaten American interests around the world.
That's right. Absolutely. We gotta fucking kill these guys. And I'm really tired of the people saying, no, it's asymmetric warfare. Don't care. You could die now, please. Now, the CNN is basically becoming a propaganda outlet for Islamic terrorism, all right? Aside from downplaying the Islamic terror attack in New York over the last weekend, right now, they're literally running defense for the Ayatollah regime, saying, Trump is spending too much money on this war, all right? And honestly, like, it's hilarious watching actual regular mainstream media run defense for terrorists every single day.
That is Donald Trump. That's what some people voted for because they wanted him to spend money here instead of $11 billion dropping bombs elsewhere in the world.
I mean, I'm sorry, Abby, but we've spent more money in this country on Somali fraud in Minnesota than we've spent on this war so far.
That's not true.
He killed her, bro. It's over. He killed her. He killed her. We lost $18 billion that we know of so far on Somali fraud. All right, and that didn't benefit the American people at all. This $11 billion spent taking out people that are literally trying to fucking kill us. That is money well spent.
Throwing around $11 billion.
Oh my God.
$19 billion.
Oh my God.
$19 billion.
It literally is that we know of. We know about $19 billion so far.
It's trying to get America to go to war with Iran.
You seem to be worried about this $11 billion, but not DVD billion in Minnesota.
It's not $19 billion.
Look at them crashing out.
But $11 billion is a lot of money, and it's a lot of money that could have saved millions of children around the world.
Oh, get out of here.
Hunger programs here.
That's right. We should have been funding more condoms in Gaza or whatever the fuck we were doing. Paying with USAID for underwater gay chicken tickling in Sudan. All right, no thanks. I'd rather blow up terrorists that are trying to kill us.
The United States, it could fund healthcare. I mean, it could do a lot of things.
$11 billion.
11, but what is the
$11 billion
percentage of our national budget?
$11 billion could fund the entire CDC budget. That's $9.6 billion. And we spent that in 6 days in the Iran war. And we are now 12 days in, so we're probably $22 billion, which we'll find out a few days later. $22 billion in a 12-day war.
Like, literally, like, these people did not give a flying fuck about the Somali Leering Center fraud, but now that we're literally using money to blow up terrorists that are trying to kill us, holy schmorglitz, the money matters a lot. Like, it is tiring watching these people, but it's honestly pretty hilarious. And the reality is...
The significant pain comes from Iran with a nuclear weapon. If you think gas prices are high now, give the Ayatollah a nuclear weapon to terrorize the region, to threaten the Straits of Hormuz. He will control gas prices forever, that regime would, if they had a nuclear capability.
And as much as people don't like the warmonger Lindsey Graham, he's just correct here. The reality is, if Iran is terrorizing the worldwide gas prices now with a couple of mostly broken down ballistic missiles that we've already obliterated, then imagine how badly they could jeopardize and take the world's energy hostage with nukes. Duh! It's the most obvious thing in the world. So obviously, destroying them now is based, right? And I'm really tired of watching these people try to chicken shit and dance around in little circles like, oh, actually, we have to wait until Iran nukes us before we retaliate. Oh, miss me with that bullshit. You fucking kill them when they're the weakest. You obliterate them now. You end the regime the moment you can with as few casualties as possible. Absolutely. And I'm so tired of making believe that any other stance is worthwhile to even entertain. Of course we should destroy them when they're at their weakest, not when they're literally threatening us. Well, this is the tale of two states as it stands right now. I'm not surprised that the left is allying themselves with terrorist pedophiles right in the Middle East when they're allying themselves with pedophiles in the United States. Breaking news. Florida, red state, will sentence child sexual abusers to death. Gavin Newsom, California, blue state, new law grants parole to pedos within a 300-year sentences. The pedo party, ladies and gentlemen. Are we surprised that they're defending Iran? I'm not personally. Now, this was not even talked about, basically, and that's because there's so much violence and Islamic terror going on in the United States these days. We don't even talk about the fact that this happened. Pennsylvania state trooper murdered by a Marxist during a routine traffic stop. Unbelievable, bro. And then they have the gall to say both sides are violent. The left was, is, and always will be the party of violence, because the left is the party that quite literally hates God. They'll murder the unborn, they'll castrate your children, they will be silent when they commit acts of terror, they will call everything a false flag, they will import violent rapists and killers into our country under the fake guise of, I don't know, empathy, because, well, they obviously can't have empathy for their children. They're too busy aborting them in the womb to have empathy for them. You have to have empathy for the foreign retards that are coming to kill you. And no, this isn't a xenophobic statement. This is an objectively correct one. So yes, the Marxists killed a very, very good man for no reason. A state trooper died because some Marxist decided he was going to just fucking kill him. I don't know, because he wanted to destroy capitalism or something. Like, and I'm supposed to unify with these people? Of course, CNN, it continues to push the terror propaganda. In light of the multiple Islamic terrorist attacks that happened on United States soil over the last week, all right? Five terror attacks over the last week from Islamists. And we don't even have like a massive Islamic population. 1% to 2% of the United States is Muslim. All right? Like England, 6 to 7% of England is Muslim. That's why they have to go through that shit like every week or two. We had 5 in the last week. And guess what CNN says? You're not even going to believe it.
No matter what happens with Iran and the United States, that there will be some sort of long-term consequences that we may not see in the next few weeks or months or years, but may come some decades later. Just as we.
By the way, I'm going to repeat what I've said in the past, because a lot of people probably did not understand the nuances of the argument. If killing terrorists that are trying to kill us is going to cause people that we imported to then commit terror attacks on our soil, then we need to kill them ASAP. All right, we don't want to wait until they have more power. We don't want to wait until we import more terrorists into our country. We want to obliterate them now. If there are actually sleeper cells, now's the time to fucking do all the things. All right? The argument that, well, if we kill terrorists that threaten us, well, then we're going to have more terrorists trying to kill us. It's a non-argument, because they will only get stronger when we inevitably will have to fight them. It's a non-argument. All right, this whole idea of we can't kill people trying to kill us because other people will try to kill us is fucking retarded.
We saw in 1979 with the Iran hostage crisis, which happened because of 1953 when we overthrew their democratically elected government.
For the record, that is not a proper evaluation of history whatsoever. The hostage crisis in 1979 happened because the current regime of Iran took over, and they're a radical Islamic terror organization that took our people hostage.
And the same thing happened when we saw 9/11. That was because
this is the banger. This is what I wanted.
Of the United States involvement in the first Gulf War. And
he's justifying 9/11. All right? We went from fringe retarded terrorist supporter Hassan Piker on Twitch justifying 9/11 to mainstream leftist talking points propaganda on CNN justifying 9/11. This has got to be the craziest shit I've ever seen. The lengths these people will go to justify Islamic terrorism is insane. It's okay that they did 9/11 because what? We killed terrorists in the Middle East? Excuse me, what?
had a long-term
You're
effect.
blaming the U.S.
I'm
for
not
9/11?
blaming the United
He's blaming the United States for 9/11.
States. I'm saying that.
Sounds like
I'm
it.
saying that what? Well, let me finish.
Sounds
I'm
like it.
saying that when we take actions across the world, that there are consequences that we don't anticipate. That
This is not a consequence. Like, you have to understand, these retards are trying to kill us. And his argument for why we shouldn't stop them from killing us is because if we do stop them from killing us, they will still be trying to kill us. Like, do you understand the circular retardation of this argument? It's unbelievable.
can happen years later. And so when we wonder why people are coming after us and attacking us, because maybe because we were attacking them.
I just want
No, it's because it's a radical Islamic regime that's chanted death to America for the last 47 years. They've killed thousands of our people, and we're not supposed to respond? Because what? If we do respond, they might try to kill us? Newsflash, they've been trying to kill us for the last 47 years.
to go back to 9/11 for a second. The idea that the United States had it coming
Never said that.
is
Never
insane.
said that. Don't put words in my mouth.
You
Just-
did.
No,
You
just no.
literally
I
invoked it.
never said
You
that.
literally
Let's
invoked it.
let's have a no
He didn't say
conversation.
that.
Let's have a no
He didn't.
conversation.
New conversation. Do not engage with the talking points. Let me release the programming to the leftoids, and we move on.
Sorry.
Okay.
I'm not going to allow you to
You
sit
said-
here and lie about
you
what I
said
just said.
we did something and that caused it.
Scott, I don't even know why you're.
I mean, we're going to roll the tape later, and
Yeah,
everybody's going to
Because the reason I know why you're doing this, because this allows you to deflect attention from the fact that your president, Donald Trump, has no idea what he's doing in Iran. He's caused the
Sure he
death.
does.
He's caused the deaths of 7 U.S. service members, of 140.
Caused the deaths of service members. What? Because they were in war to protect our nation? Like, these people are, like, actually vapid and evil. All right? These people died fighting for our country, and the best you could do is say Trump killed them? Like these people are disgusting. Like, I didn't even say that about our troops in Afghanistan that I think Biden killed. All right? I don't even say that. These people died for our country. They're heroes that fought against an Islamic terrorist regime that's trying to kill us and been trying to kill us for the last 47 years. And for you to just be here and be like, their deaths meant nothing, Trump killed them because Orange Man bad, it's the most evil shit ever.
As I
He
said,
caused it?
170
but he's
school
commander
children
You don't
and
think Iran caused it?
140 injuries.
The fact that these people will blame Donald Trump for the deaths of our troops as opposed to Iran, the people that killed us, all right, that killed our people for the last 47 years, just goes to show you the level of insanity we're dealing with. Like this is crazy.
In this country of U.S. service members as well. We've got American citizens who are stranded in the Middle East.
You're talking about
Embassies
unintended
being
consequences.
Great
evacuated.
PR.
Like this is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. We have this guy on CNN literally doing PR for Islamic terrorism, saying that U.S. had 9/11 coming, and this is their response to terror attacks. Now, to understand the terror attacks that took place yesterday, we have more information. I covered it yesterday as it was breaking. I'm going to cover it again today. I've been doing incredible deep dives on all the things that happened, covering them in the way they need to be covered because unfortunately so many retards are too scared to do it. Old Dominion University shooter was a man named Mohammed Jallow. This Mohammed Jallow was a terrorist that shot up a university in Virginia. Crazy fucking story. born in Sierra Leone. Of course, became a naturalized U.S. citizen. That's right, this was a citizen, guys. Radicalized by Al-Qaeda. Get ready for this one. Convicted for providing material support to ISIS. Sentenced to 11 years in prison. However, released from prison early under Biden. Understand how easily this could have been avoided if we would have been a competent, normal country not running on radical leftoid feelings bullshit. This is a guy, a foreigner, all right, who's a naturalized citizen because our laws are fucking broken and people are importing these people to kill us, who was literally convicted as being a ISIS terrorist. Not exaggerating. Convicted as an ISIS terrorist. Released from prison under Biden, goes out there and commits an Islamic terror attack. Heartbreakingly, as I was covering yesterday, people were injured, no one was killed, but unfortunately, heartbreakingly, someone was killed now. The victim of the terrorist attack in Old Dominion identified as Lieutenant Colonel Brandon Shah, who was a professor of military science and the leader of the university's ROTC program, a veteran of Operation Iraqi Freedom, Operation Enduring Freedom, and Atlantic Resolve. And these are his awards. Rest in peace to hero. And this is unbelievable. We're losing the best of us because the left is importing the worst of us. This didn't need to happen. This didn't need to happen at all. We don't need to actually live like this. And no matter how many people are going to hit you with the random feminist talking points about how actually all people are the same and all cultures are equal and there's no difference between anybody. Well, if there's no difference between anybody and everything's the same, then multiculturalism doesn't exist because everything's the same. It is a self-defeating non-argument that they use to excuse importing terrorists into our country to rape us and kill us. This was an Islamic terror attack. No anything in the Middle East justifies the fact that this guy, a United States citizen, would go into a college and start shooting and stabbing people. And the idea that this isn't a right versus left issue is laughable, all right? Every single president bombs the Middle East, all right? It's a rite of passage. If you're a president, you're going to have to bomb the Middle East. That's just how it works, I guess. Maybe they should stop trying to kill us and we'll stop bombing them. But only one party is literally bringing the terrorists into our country under the guise of multiculturalism. Oh, what do you mean? What do you mean? This guy that pledged allegiance to ISIS shouldn't be deported. He's just as American as you and me. He has a passport. He has paperwork. He has paperwork. That makes him just as American as all of us. Well, this narrative is collapsing really fast, and people are tired of it. Now, the way this terrorist, Mohammed Jallo, weird how his name is Mohammed or something. That's kind of weird. Police be upon him. No one saw this one coming. He's dead now. You know how he was killed? He was beaten to death. He was beaten to death.
How was he deceased?
There were students who were in that room that subdued him and rendered him no longer alive. I don't know how else to say it, but
they beat him to death, rendered him no longer alive. Some based American patriots saw that motherfucker and beat him to death.
Basically were able to terminate the threat.
So he was not shot?
He was not shot.
No, he was beaten to death.
He shot 3 people?
Correct. We have information that he shot 3 people.
The one that went to Virginia?
Yeah, so he shot 3 people. One unfortunately died from his wounds, a victim of Islamic terror. And no one even calls it what it is, because apparently calling it what it is too radicalizing for people. All right, an Islamic terror attack left 1 dead, 3 shot, and he was beaten to death. Right, that's the level of fucking fatigue that we actually have. I don't think enough emphasis is being on the place that the students at ODU literally beat the Muslim shooter to death with their bare hands and whatever else they had available to them. This is a level of Islam fatigue I don't think we've seen in the United States since 9/11. Like, this is insane. And that was just one of the terror attacks yesterday. All right, so this was the other terror attack yesterday that took place in a synagogue in Michigan, Detroit, where an Islamic terrorist with a truck full of explosives drove into a synagogue / preschool, all right, and started shooting around. Thank God no one was killed, and he died. His own car blew up. You know, that's the thing. Bro completed his quest of blow yourself up for Allah, all right, so he succeeded on that part. Just thank God he didn't take anyone else with him. So the reality is that motherfucker's dead. He was neutralized by a security guard working at that synagogue, because obviously if you don't have a security guard, someone's going to blow up your temple, all right? So this is what happened.
That I want to make sure the local community is aware of first and foremost is this community works together hand in glove. This community takes care of each other. And we have been communicating regularly. I have been texting the chief, not just in West Bloomfield, but every place that's got significant houses of worship, Jewish facilities, synagogues, temples, you name it. over the past 2 weeks. Obviously, what happens around the world sometimes affects us, so we have to think about it and be prepared for it. So we've been talking. I texted actually the head of security from the temple 2 days ago, and communicated some information to him.
Dude, the threat level is so high to just civilians going to synagogues in the United States that, like, the chief of police, all right, the head sheriff is gonna need to talk to these guys every day or two. Like, that's insane.
So the first thing the community should know is that we not just today work together, we work together all the time. Our state, our federal, and local partners. Number one. Number two, we train. In our world, preparation is important. We hope and pray it never happens, but that's not a strategy. Preparation is. So all of us have been training together for many years for active shooters or active assailants, mass casualty events, and tragically we've had way more than our share. So that is ongoing and is in place. The third thing is important to note, no children and no staff were hurt. So we know there's evil in the world, and we know they only have to get it right once, and sometimes they do. They may not come on anybody's radar, and they show up.
It just happened in Virginia. Virginia, they won. They took the life of an innocent man.
But what happens when they show up, that's where training and preparation kicks in. The security staff did an amazing job. An amazing job. And you'll get some of the details on that, but they stopped the threat. No kids, no staff were hurt. Now, there were some injuries and things that had to be taken care of. One of the head of security was taken to the hospital. He got knocked down by the car when it breached the building, and we've had 30 law enforcement officers taken to the hospital for smoke inhalation.
Damn.
So a lot of our folks...
because, you know, this was, you have to understand how this works, all right? So, bomb specialty is, like, it's in the Muslim class of terror, all right? As opposed to trans classes, those are normally, you know, their dad's assault weapon. That's normally how it works, all right? Their dad's rifle is normally the weapon of choice for trans terrorists. For Muslim terrorists, it's incendiary devices and explosives is their specialty normally. They put all their skill points into blowing themselves up for Allah. Just hopefully they don't take anyone with them.
My SWAT team and other agencies are still in treatment because that building became engulfed when the car, and we'll learn all of that through the investigation, why it became engulfed in flames, what was the ignition source, and I think the ATF is taking the origin of that source and origin of the fire. But in any event, what it did, it caused terrible, terrible smoke in that part of the building. And
you know, because the dude literally brought a bomb into a preschool. Yeah, we don't need to live with these people. These are the fucking barbarians are not at the gates. They're inside, and we have to live with this shit. All right, so anyway, apparently it's even more insane ever. All right, so you got to see the responses to this, because I think that the conversation about this is in some ways even scarier than the actual event, because the event, we all knew this was going to happen. All right, so I've already explained to you the difference between fat Islamists and skinny Islamists. Skinny Islamists, they run at you and try to kill you. The fat Islamists, they're the propaganda mouthpiece. So fat Islamists, Cenk Uygur, people are going to call me racist for this, but they're wrong, because Islam is not a race. All right, I am not racist. I am just Islamophobic. It's a totally different thing. Don't get... All right, anyway. There's an active shooter in a synagogue in Michigan. He has exchanged fire with security. These types of attacks are the worst thing anyone can do. Because it's trying to blow up children? It's deeply immoral. It goes counter to any principle of peace and safety. Get ready, the mask slips here. I don't know how this dude doesn't, like, proofread his tweets. It's wildly counterproductive, and it divides Americans. Excuse me? Counterproductive? Counterproductive because what? Because you want to find a way to kill Jews without actually getting backlash for it? Like, what does counterproductive mean? All right, what would be productive in this situation? All right, and quite literally, divides Americans? No, this is unifying Americans against the non-Americans that have paperwork and try to convince us that they're Americans. I'm sorry, I don't think you understand. This doesn't dividing Americans is not the problem. It's blowing up Americans that are the problem. All right, I'm really glad that we're trying to actually have this conversation. And the most insane shit is when you look at his replies, it's like they're eating him alive. It exposes the violent intolerance of certain religions, and he says if someone is fighting against the religion rather than the intolerance, they've got it wrong. Are you fucking insane? Of course we should be intolerant against a religion that's trying to kill us. What are you even talking about? Dog, if the religion is the one indoctrinating these people to blow themselves up for God and take as many children as they can with them, maybe the religion needs to be investigated or something. I don't know. The intolerance is the problem? What does that even mean? Islamophobia made this guy drive his truck into a school and try to blow up a bunch of children? Like it's unbelievable how, like, retarded these people are. And again, the most insane part is, this is a relatively popular commentator on the internet, all right? Uncle of Hassan Piker, host of the Young Turks. He's on every single fucking Piers Morgan episode because you get clicks when you put a fat, screaming, sweaty Islamist, I guess, in the thumbnail. And the reality is, this guy shouldn't be here. He allies with every single enemy of America every single time. He has directly, through his show, in my opinion, incited the murder of the Baton Rouge police officers that were murdered by his fan that was literally egged on by the Young Turks. I made an entire video on that. But for some reason, not only are we not deporting people that ally up with the terrorists and enemies of America, but for some reason, we've given them platforms that they can utilize to literally propagandize us to kill each other and to hate each other and to obfuscate from real situations and real issues with their bullshit. Understand, we are not only tolerating that there are orcs in the Shire, we are giving the orcs places in the government of the Shire. We are giving them the actual voices to propagandize the hobbits as to why actually the orcs aren't the problem. And the truth is, we don't need to do this. We do not need to give megaphones to quite literally the enemy. I'm not saying silence him, because I know people are going to say that I'm trying to cancel him. I'm not trying to cancel him. I'm not trying to silence him. Not trying to fight against freedom of speech. That's always the angle these retards use to try to kill you. I just think that as a country and as a culture that's based on biblical values, we do not need to tolerate bringing enemies of America into our country, therefore elevating them to the same exact status of an American that's been here for the last 400 years, that built this country and that contributed to this culture. You do not need to be tolerant of these people. Tolerance is actually not a virtue. Intolerance is a virtue. So to be clear, I'm not trying to silence or cancel this guy. I just want him to get deported. Like, holy shit, this is insane. Counterproductive to blow up American children. Yeah, counterproductive. No one is surprised by this terror attack, by the way. All right, so when someone like Chank is like all shocked that this happened, literally no one is actually shocked that this happened.
As the CEO of the Jewish Federation of Detroit, I'd love to say I'm shocked or I'm surprised, but I'm not. This is something that we trained for. Thank you to all of the law enforcement officers who stand behind us and the many who don't. Thank you to our Jewish community security team. This is a tough time. It is a tough time, but we will get through this. We'll get through this together. We'll get through this stronger. And we'll continue to be loud and proud of being Jewish. This will not change us. This will not deter us, and we will continue. With that, I'd like to turn over to Rabbi Ariana Gordon of Temple Israel.
Anyway, the point that I'm trying to make is, no one's shocked by this, all right? He's like, yeah, we're not even surprised that this happened. Yeah, we know, like, obviously. Like, and I'm not surprised either. In fact, when this happened, I immediately said, oh, it was a Muslim, all right? Because I played this game whenever there's a terrorist attack. Was it a Muslim or was it a leftist, right? It's always the fun game. Trans or Muslim, who knows, right? So that's the game you play. I immediately put all my money on Muslim, and I was proven correct immediately. No one is surprised by this, actually. Like, and people that tell you that they're surprised by this are either retarded or liars. Unfortunately, we get a lot of both of those these days, but quite literally, we all knew this was inevitable. Like, we imported the orcs into the Shire, and then we're all shocked when the orcs start raping the hobbits. All right? In fact, just look at the way this is being covered in the media, all right? You thought it was bad when the media said that America deserved 9/11? Like, holy shit. This is a terror attack that happened yesterday, and this is the broadcast immediately after.
This situation, this was an Israeli temple. It was...
What? First of all, it was a Jewish temple. All right, it was literally just a place where Jews worship or whatever. Like, what are we even talking about? An Israeli temple? Why would you even say that? I thought Jews and Israel were different. I thought that Zionism and anti-Semitism and anti-Zionism are different things. Obviously, it's not for most people. But anyway.
Aligned with Israel, I will say that.
A Jewish temple?
A Jewish temple.
Jewish synagogue is
it's
not.
Just like it was a Jewish synagogue. What are we talking about?
An Israeli temple.
It's called the real Israel temple.
First of all, it's called Temple Israel. And second of all, you realize that synagogues were called Temple Israel for long before that the state of Israel was established in 1948. You know, because like there's this thing, it's called the Bible. It mentions Israel like I don't know, 1,000 times in the Bible. So therefore, like the Temple Israel is like the most generic name in the history of Jewish synagogues. All right, but we have leftoid retard over here being like, oh, it has Israel in the name. It's a valid military target. I'm not even exaggerating. This is on mainstream American news, being like, oh, it has Israel in the name, and therefore, can we really blame the Muslims for blowing it up?
Jewish.
Okay.
They're the people of Israel.
How do you define?
You know, because you know, literally, my great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather was this guy named Israel. Might have heard of him.
Finish my point. So
all right, finish your point.
Wrong from the premise. They're not Israeli. They're Jewish.
So they're called
and even if they were Israeli, it doesn't mean that Muslims could just fucking blow up their places in Michigan, okay? like as if that justifies it. Like, this is wrong on so many levels.
Real Israeli temple, yes, and they do align with.
It's called Temple Israel. It's not the Israeli temple. Like, get the name right, I guess, if you're gonna slander it. Like this is insane.
Israel and their beliefs. So this was.
So they align with Israel, so therefore the Muslims could go blow it up. All right, there we go. That hard-hitting left-wing media, ladies and gentlemen. Hell yeah, running defense for Islamic terrorists every single day. It doesn't stop. Every day. Every single day. Unstoppable. Unreal. Both Michigan Democrat senators voted against funding DHS just minutes before a foreign Islamic terrorist rammed his car into a synagogue and shot it up. Is anyone surprised? Is anyone surprised? And then the left is like, oh my god, it's Trump's fault. Meanwhile, they defund the Department of Homeland Security. Quite literally, they just did that. All right, they import all these fuckers, and then they kill us, and we can't defend ourselves because they literally defunded our security. And then they're like, I can't believe Trump is killing terrorists in the Middle East. That justifies 9/11. Have you heard? All right, look at how the local press in Dearborn is reporting this. Now, the reason why I'm showing this to you is because Dearborn, Michigan is 30 minutes away from this temple in Detroit, Michigan, which was blown up by a terrorist. Okay, so again, no one's surprised where this guy fucking came from. Dearborn is a Muslim majority city in America that kicks Christians out of the city and names streets in the city after terrorists. This is a real thing, by the way. All right, this is insane. Dearborn Heights man suspected in Temple, Israel incident recently lost his family in Israeli airstrike in Lebanon. Excuse me, what the fuck? What are we doing? This guy is not a victim. This guy's a terrorist. This guy just blew up a school and a synagogue and tried to murder a bunch of children. This guy's fucking evil. What are we doing? Right, dude, look at this, man. The suspect died following reports of an active shooter at a synagogue where police say a truck crashed into a building. Shots were fired, triggering a large emergency response from local law enforcement and federal agencies. According to the sources familiar with the situation, Ghazali, classic American name, had recently experienced a family tragedy overseas. Two of his brothers and several nephews were killed days earlier in an Israeli strike in Lebanon. Unbelievable stuff. So that justifies him blowing up a synagogue in Michigan, I guess. Seriously, man, this is the media in Dearborn. And if you look at the comments, get ready. Get ready. You're not ready. All right? We all know him. He's a sweetheart. Smells like a false flag. He was the sweetest soul. I have a hard time believing a Muslim did this. Allah did it. I witnessed a guy giving pomegranate juice to customers. Love how they can't even say what the incident was. This is so heartbreaking. I hope he... Like, dude, look at this. What a nice guy. False flag. Like, dude, it's the most unbelievable thing. It's like, they will justify it by saying, well, he lost family in an airstrike, so I guess it makes sense that he blew up a preschool in Detroit, right? They'll say, he lost family. I guess it makes sense that he blew up a preschool. And then they'll be like, also, it wasn't him. It was a Mossad false flag. They blew up their own preschool. The craziest shit in the universe. And yeah, this is like literally what all the comments are saying. Like, you read the comments and they're all doing this. Every single one of them. They're just basically defending the guy because we literally imported a foreign, unassimilatable community into our country with a different value system. In fact, the value system that supports the idea of blowing yourself up to kill some infidels. And for some reason, we're surprised that these people are not that American. As far as I am standing, these people are all supporting an act of terrorism on United States soil. They should be denaturalized and deported. Like, we don't need to live like this. Like, the guy that's here being like, well, oh well, good shit, bro, good shit. That is correct. He lost siblings. Oh well, right? Like, so all these retards, or just for the record, all these retards that are doing this, they didn't assimilate into American culture, and their children will not be assimilating either. But I'm told that we need to live like this. Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib. The reports coming out of West Bloomfield are horrifying. I am praying for the safety of everyone at Temple Israel. No one should face violence anywhere, especially in a place of worship. All right, this is what Rashida Tlaib had to say, all right? This is also a clip from Dearborn, Michigan, and Rashida Tlaib's comments on it. This is a guy in Dearborn, Michigan screaming death to America. Al-Mawt America means death to America. That was not Iran. That was literally Dearborn, Michigan. 30 minutes away from where they blew up a school. Is anyone surprised? I'm not surprised.
Great look. The mayor condemned it.
And it was actually in Rashida Tlaib's district. The killer was from her district. Isn't that beautiful?
The White House condemned it. But what about Congresswoman Rashida?
Condemning it's not enough. It needs to be denaturalized and deported. That's where the conversation needs to be. Condemning it, that's cute. I condemn it also. But the government needs to denaturalize and start deporting these people. We should not be importing people into our country that are screaming death to America, and because they have a little piece of paper, we can't do anything to them. They just become completely immune to literally fucking anything. Absolutely not. That's some bullshit.
Rashida Tlaib. She reps Dearborn. Is she okay with her constituents chanting death to America?
Isn't it impressive that there's an entire community of foreigners that we literally brought into our country that are now only electing these anti-American pieces of shit into Congress?
Fox Business correspondent Hillary Vaughn asked her. Watch.
All right, let's see.
Congresswoman Tlaib.
Fox News. I don't talk to Fox News.
At a rally in your district, people were chanting death to America. Do you condemn?
Talk to Fox News.
But do you condemn chants of death to America?
I don't talk to people that use racist tropes.
Why can't you just say whether or not you condemn people chanting death to America? Why are you afraid to talk to Fox?
Fox News is not listen, using racist tropes towards my community is what Fox.
Racist tropes. Again, this is like the Norm Macdonald tweet, you know? It's like, oh my God, all poor Islamists screaming death to America, people might be Islamophobic towards them.
News is about, and I don't talk to Fox News.
Is death to America racist?
Fox News.
Is chanting death to America racist?
I'm talking about your guys' racist tropes. You know, you guys know exactly what you do.
Dog, this is the easiest thing in the universe to condemn unless you agree.
I know you're Islamophobic, but you guys gotta go deal with it on your own self. You're not gonna use me.
That's right. It's Islamophobic to be against people in our country chanting death to America. That was in Dearborn, Michigan. Someone from that community drove 30 minutes to Temple, Israel, and blew it up. Isn't that cool? Zohran Mamdani tweeted this, all right? The attack in Temple, Israel, West Bloomfield, Michigan is horrifying. My thoughts are with the congregation and all who are shaken by this act of anti-Semitic violence. Hey, monitoring the situation. I love how he keeps doing this. Dog, you're on Twitter like everyone else. You're a fucking mayor in New York. You have absolutely nothing to do with... I am monitoring this situation. All right, dude. Out of an abundance of caution, the NYPD will deploy high-visibility patrols, Jewish, religious, cultural institutions across the 5 boroughs. That's nice. As you can see, no one's buying this shit. 14,000 likes, 4 million views. Right. Meanwhile, this was literally in his city hall yesterday. All right. This guy doing the ISIS salute the same way that the Islamic terrorist that threw a bomb in New York City is doing the ISIS salute. All right. No one's buying this. And Dave Portnoy actually had an incredibly rare good take. Rare Dave Portnoy W. You know what? When there are terrorist attacks in the U.S. by extremists, I'd prefer the same politicians and podcasters who egg them on with non-stop inflammatory rhetoric and by endorsing Hamas rallies who refuse to condemn phrases like globalize the intifada and who blame everything on the Jews don't get to act surprised or sympathetic when these attacks happen. It's insulting and you're not fooling anybody. I'd rather Mamdani be more like his wife, who probably already smashed the like button on it 1 billion times and threw a party at Gracie Mansion. At least she owns it. Give me a straightforward hatred rather than the hypocrisy. And honestly, he kind of cooked with this one. I prefer upfront honesty to this shit any day of the week. I've said this before. I'll say it again. That's why I'll take someone like Nick Fuentes over like a Tucker Carlson or a Candace Owens or a Hassan Piker or a Cenk Uygur any day of the week. At least he's honest. Like, dude, Hassan Piker be like, you should go kill Rick Scott. And then be like, I actually don't cause violence at all. Yes, you fucking do. You're a terrorist. Just be honest about it, okay? Calm down. In my opinion, that's what he is. So the reality is, Zohran Mamdani should not be that surprised after a 152% spike in anti-Semitism. New York Police Department changed how it reports hate crimes. Is anyone surprised by this at all? There was a huge spike in hate crimes committed against Jews during Zohran Mamdani's first month in office. So to hide the spike in anti-Semitic crime, Mamdani had the NYPD change the way it counts hate crimes to lower the reported number and make comparisons to previous years harder. This is exactly how it works, and it's insane that it keeps happening. So Tuberville, this is hilarious. Tuberville shares social media posts suggesting Muslims are the enemy. Tuberville is a politician, and he shared this. Oh my goodness gracious. Notice how Politico says, Tuberville shares sentiment suggesting Muslims are the enemy. Well, Tuberville has responded. Coach Tommy Tuberville, United States Senator from the great state of Alabama, says, to be clear, I didn't suggest Islamists are the enemy. I said it plainly. Oh my God, 90,000 likes, 2.3 million views. The conversation has shifted. The Overton window is shattered. And it's shit like this that makes me happy that Donald Trump is president of the United States. We can actually have these conversations without going to fucking jail from the bad words police from Keir Starmer. All right? Senator Tuberville's post on Mayor Mamdani is nothing less than blatant anti-Semitic, anti-Islamophobic racism, says Bernie Sanders. Not only should Tuberville apologize, but the Republican leadership should strongly condemn this kind of ugly behavior. We must fight racism of all kinds, not condemn it. Oh my God, this is unbelievable. He did a racism, ladies and gentlemen. Well, Bernie Sanders should note, all right, and I think this is super important. The Austin shooter was from Senegal. The OD shooter was from Sierra Leone. The NYC teen bombers were Afghans. The Michigan synagogue attack was from Lebanon. So, as you can see, this is Afghanistan, this is Lebanon, this is Senegal, and this is Sierra Leone. So, explain to me, in plain English, Bernie Sanders, where's the racism? What race are we being racist against right now? The Senegalese race? The Sierra Leoneans? Am I racist against Afghans or Lebanese? Where is the racism? I don't know. Show me on the map where the racism is. All right, show me on the doll where the racism touched you, Bernie Sanders. Okay, make it clear. Because the answer is there is some very, very obvious underlying connection between these 4 terror attacks. They're Muslims. But it's not racism. It has nothing to do with racism, actually. We need to reject the left's new favorite strategy of just completely misunderstanding what words mean, thus making discourse impossible. This is how the left operates every time. There is an unprecedented increase in terrorist attacks from Islam. Technically, lots of things are unprecedented. AI is an unprecedented tool. Does that make it bad? All right, Destiny. You can go fuck yourself, sir. Like, seriously, man. Like, what are we doing? All right, we can't let them control discourse, all right? This is not racism. It has nothing to do with that. You literally are part of a death cult. That's the problem. It's the death cult that's the problem. Multiple federal sources confirm Fox News that the suspected ODU shooter, Mohammed Jalloh, is a naturalized U.S. citizen. And get ready, ladies and gentlemen. You are not ready for the discourse. This monster should have been stripped from his citizenship, shipped back to Sierra Leone. Instead, he was let back into our streets only to commit more terror. We can't go on like this. Anyone who comes to the country and goes on to support or join a terrorist organization should be denaturalized and deported. My Scam Act does just that. This is the House Majority Whip, and the Scam Act is actually getting started. What is the Scam Act, you ask? Well, I'm happy to help. After the Save America Act, we must pass the Scam Act so we can denaturalize and deport those who are here to hurt Americans. We must denaturalize those who shouldn't be here. The Scam Act expands denaturalization for welfare fraud, aggravated felonies, espionage, drug cartels, or forest terrorist organizations. Pass the Scam Act today. Get these fucking retards out of our country. Do you remember when I said that the discourse is going to change? That the discourse is going to move on from illegal immigrants and just talk about foreigners that are that we need to denaturalize? Well, I was proven so vindicated, it's insane. Definitely subscribe to Nuxanor to be ahead of the curve. You see, I'm not afraid to say these things, because what are you going to do? Send me death threats? Try to cancel me? I get that shit in droves on the daily. I don't give a fuck. We got to get these fuckers out of here. I would extend it to anyone that literally allies themselves with foreign militaries. They got to go too. Like, all these people. Like, we don't need these people here. You have another citizenship? Use it. You prefer that other country? Live there. You support the foreign entity that hates us? Go figure it out with them. They don't prosecute goat fuckers. I hear the Congo is 1 or 2 steps away from becoming modern-day Wakanda. All right, go figure shit out over there. Oh, America's a racist place? Go somewhere else then. Go, literally. We'll launch you out on trebuchets. We'll make the trip faster and more cost-effective. Lieutenant Colonel Brandon Shaw was killed today in the classroom of an old Dominican university by an Islamic terrorist, which she forgets to mention. A devoted instructor, Shaw didn't leave a life of service to our country. He taught and led and pathed others to follow. Beautiful stuff. Why is she not mentioning that it was an Islamic terrorist that killed him instead of just this random guy that died? If you only read the governor of Virginia's post, you'd have no idea he was murdered by a terrorist because of his service and love of country. Purposeful omission. And they all do this. They literally do not engage with normal talking points. Now pay attention to the discourse. This was the Austin shooter, a naturalized citizen from Senegal. This is a naturalized shooter, a naturalized citizen, and he threw bombs in New York City. This is a naturalized citizen from Sierra Leone, and he killed an innocent man. And this is a naturalized citizen, legal immigrant from Lebanon that blew up a fucking school. Pay attention. Pay attention. We voted for mass deportations. That is not enough. We need mass denaturalizations also. People aren't aware of how the discourse is changing in front of our very eyes.
Interesting, too, Jesse, if you'll pardon me for adding. The Austin shooter, I saw this from Will Kane, our colleague. Austin shooter, naturalized citizen. Old Dominion shooter, naturalized citizen. The New York teen bombers, children of naturalized, that is, citizens. And the Michigan synagogue attack, again, a naturalized citizen. It caused a question who we're letting into this country, clearly.
I see a pattern. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Are we noticing patterns? This is even on boomer slop Fox News. People are starting to notice patterns. That's the Scam Act for you, ladies and gentlemen. We got to start denaturalizing these people and deporting them. So Randy Fine says we need more Islamophobia, not less. Fear of Islam is rational. Of course, famous meme in the replies: hates Jews, Christians, atheists, gays, dogs, bacon, wine, beer, your civilization, your culture, your traditions, your country, and you. Complains about Islamophobia. So we need more Islamophobia, not less. Fear of Islam is rational. So that's what Randy Fine says. As you can see, got 5 million views and 73,000 likes. And of course, you got the leftoids. What the fuck is wrong with you? After a day like today, we need unity, not more hatred and division. No. After a day like today, we need to stop more days like today happening. All right, this is the retarded leftist kumbaya cum circle of retards that I can't stand. What is this? No, the time for drum circles and why can't we all just get along songs is over. The time for expulsion of evil is here. Holy crap. Unity with who? The people blowing up our schools? The people shooting our troops in colleges? The people throwing bombs in New York City? Like, this is unbelievable. These people want to kill us, dude. They hate our culture. They hate our way of life. They want to kill us. Now, quite literally, the left needs to be destroyed because they're the ones bringing them in, protecting them, and letting them out of jails. But these guys need to get deported. All right, these are two very separate issues. To quote Charlie Kirk, Islam is the sword the left is using to slit the throat of America. He tweeted that one day before he was murdered. I cannot stand this pussyfooting little fucking fruit basket cum circle of retards sitting around and singing Kumbaya by the campfire. After, 5 Islamic terrorists on United States soil in 1 week, we need unity? Get the fuck out of here, bro. We don't need unity, we need fucking security. The reason why the terrorist in Michigan didn't actually succeed in killing a bunch of kids? Because he was fucking shot by a based guy with a fucking gun. Killed him. Eliminated the threat. You know why more people weren't killed in the college in Virginia? Because they beat him to death. If they would have shot him, maybe this guy would have survived that he ended up killing. Like, these people will literally, someone will rape them and they will say, "Excuse me, sir, I would like unity with you now." I've been saying the whole time, multiculturalism isn't our greatest strength. Unity is our greatest strength. So if you are from another culture and you're not able, for whatever reason, to assimilate with our culture, then we're not going to have unity. And we need to expel the people that cannot unify. CNN expert says it appears Michigan synagogue attacker lost family members in Israel airstrike in Lebanon. Literally, why the fuck does this have anything to do with anything? Well, it has nothing to do with anything whatsoever. He's a terrorist. Why are we running defense for him? There have been 0 attacks against random Muslims by family members who lost people on October 7th. Fact check, actually, that's insane. So the reality is, I actually lost a family member on October 7th. I've never driven a truck into a mosque and tried to blow up a bunch of children. This is not something that computes. It's almost like there's a religious issue here. News! The man who ran the explosive-laden truck in Michigan synagogue today was named Ayman Ghazaleh. According to a source familiar with the situation, Ghazaleh posted photos overnight of his family members, including young children who were killed in a recent Israeli strike in Mashgara, Lebanon. Again, completely irrelevant. Not trying to be controversial or anything. Sad that these kids are dead. Don't get me wrong. It's really sad that the kids are dead. Doesn't justify him blowing up a random school. In fact, his brothers that were killed in the airstrike from the Israeli military were actual Hezbollah terrorists. And the 2 kids that died tragically, collateral damage in war. A war that Hezbollah started. For those of you not familiar with the Israeli conflict that's going on right now with Iran and Hezbollah, Hezbollah is a proxy of Iran that has been launching missiles into Israel, and Israel struck back, attacking Hezbollah targets, including terrorists, which are these guys, which are the brothers of the terrorist that blew up a fucking synagogue in Michigan. So let's understand how the leftist media is framing this. It's somewhat justified that this guy tried to blow up a children's daycare and synagogue in Michigan because he had brothers that are terrorists that were eliminated. Like, you gotta be out of your fucking mind if I'm supposed to tolerate this shit. Like, we literally naturalized the citizen. We brought this guy into our country as an immigrant, a legal immigrant, and his brothers are Hezbollah terrorists? Like, dude, this is just gonna radicalize me more. This isn't justifying the fact that this man blew up a random school. All right, I'm sorry. This is just gonna radicalize me a little bit more. We let in a guy legally, and his brothers, 2 brothers of his, are Hezbollah terrorists. Hezbollah, by the way, is literally murdered 241 Marines in a Beirut bombing in Lebanon. Like, these people have killed hundreds of Americans, Hezbollah, and their brother naturalized? I know that I'm going to have some woke retard be like, oh, but sins of the family shouldn't equate to... No, it absolutely should. If 2 of his brothers are terrorists, we don't need that guy in our country. We have 0 obligation to give immigration status to foreigners. 0. Every time we do it, it should be when it's a benefit to us. For example, if this guy's brothers are terrorists, we shouldn't do it. Obviously, there was something wrong with the upbringing, and it is tiring to even say this, quite literally. And not only that, but also he's a pedophile. I just thought that was fun to add. This Ayman al-Ghazali terrorist that blew up a school, he was literally a pedophile. 3 felonies for child abuse. Good shit. That's the guy. That's the legal immigrant that we have in our country, blowing people up. Imagine excusing someone for firebombing a random mosque because his cousin was killed on 9/11. Exactly. It's a completely retarded argument. All right, and this is what the Jewish members of Congress have been getting.
Just for being a Jewish piece of shit who thinks they own the world. I hope some fucking Arab motherfucker jumps out of the bushes and cuts off your fucking head.
Good shit.
Just for being a...
Yeah, so this is the shit that without... this is the shit that's supposed to be normal. Yeah, thank you. This is the representative of Ohio 7 District. Like, for some reason, that's normal. Of course, last night there was also a bombing in a synagogue in Rotterdam, for those of you that are unaware. And this is not to be confused with the bombing that happened yesterday in the synagogue in Norway. Yeah, I guess bombing synagogues is a daily thing these days, and we're supposed to tolerate it because they had a cousin who was a terrorist that died or something. I don't know. This month, Austin Shooter, naturalized citizen. Like, people are noticing. We have a legal immigration problem. Dude, the Overton window is destroyed. It is so over. This horrific pattern of naturalized citizens committing acts of terrorism against the American people must end. This is Representative Riley Moore from Virginia. All right, I will introduce a bill to denaturalize and deport any citizen who commits an act of terrorism, plots to commit an act of terrorism, joins a terrorist organization, or otherwise aids and abets terrorism against the American people. Everyone is saying this. Brandon Gill responds, sign me up. Dude, people are changing the conversation. And this is Dearborn, Michigan. This is quite literally the place where this terrorist came from. 30 minutes away from the temple that got blown up.
Now you have all these Islam men yelling Allah Akbar. I have a question for you guys. If America were to get in a war with a country like Iraq, who would you guys defend, America or Iraq?
We won't get in a war. That's not permissible for us. But at the same time,
who would you defend first?
We would support our brothers in Iraq. That's the only way.
So you want to defend America?
Deport them! Get them out! Get them out! Deport them! Oh, but we're separating families! Deport the whole family! Deport! What are we doing? They literally admit that they would fucking kill us in our backyards if we decide to bomb terrorists that are trying to kill us. Alright, let's understand what we're doing.
America.
We would not defend America.
But you're American.
But at the same time, listen, at the same time, America is our country because we were...
It's our country. Anyway, we would ally with the Islamic terrorists to try to kill Americans. They say it openly.
Born here, but in our...
We're here because we were born here, so we're American. We're as American as you and me. We're all equally American. Also, I would ally with Iraq to kill you. Good shit. Good shit. It seems like the naturalization process is really working. Really nice to see these people integrating into American society so well.
Islamic book, we're not allowed...
Then this guy could vote.
To fight with people that are against our religion, so we just take up the jail time.
Yeah, I'm sure you would. Anyway, now, Hasbin Gold covered this, and his coverage was pretty good. Pretty good, I say, because I don't think he actually understands Islam. All right, I don't want to be controversial or anything, because I really like Hasbin Gold's coverage normally. This is like the in my opinion, just a normal, rational guy covering shit, and he normally does a really good job. So first of all, he started with this.
So this guy's trying to drive a car into a school, and synagogue security killed the attacker. Damn, W Jews, huh? How about that?
W Jews. It's rare, but it happens. Crazy how many people have been psyoped into thinking that Israel is an enemy because they kill terrorists that want to kill us. It's honestly insane. But anywho, this was his coverage of the shooter, and I find it very interesting.
Like, in general, I think that a lot of the people that do these bombings and do these shootings, and this is true with gang shootings, it's true with, you know, like, it's true in prisons, it's true everywhere. Like, the overwhelming majority are guys without, like, really any sort of, like, hope for the future. Like, that's really the reality. It doesn't matter whether you're in the Bloods, the Crips, the Muslim Brotherhood, or the Aryan Brotherhood. It's all the same people. It's the same demographic. It's young men with no sense of hope to the future and seemingly nothing to lose, right?
No. You are correct in the majority of circumstances. When it comes to, like, white school shooters, totally, 100%. I'm with you, man. All right, when it comes to a lot of instances of gang violence, sure, whatever. Specifically with Islam, you're wrong. And the reason why you're wrong is not, in my opinion, because you don't have a good understanding of human psychology. It's because you don't have a good understanding of Islam. And I don't say this as an insult, because I think your average person views it exactly the same way Asmongold does. Because we have been psyoped, in my opinion, through a multi-year, multi-generation psyop that all cultures are equal and all people are the same and all psychologies are identical because we're all humans and all humans are beautiful and awesome and lovely. And therefore, since we're all humans, we're all identical. We have slightly different cultures, but that just affects our cuisine, okay? It doesn't actually affect our way of life and shit. And this has been one of the most dangerous psyops that's been played on us for a very long time. Because in Islam, from a very young age, the idea of martyrdom is actually literally groomed into you. Kids are groomed to be martyrs, not even exaggerating. Like, this is from Sneeko, okay? Now, Sneeko was groomed as a 25-year-old adult. All right, imagine what they could do to children.
But it's a reminder that this life is short. And so
this is him talking about Khamenei, terrorist, pedophile, mass murderer that was eliminated by United States and Israeli airstrikes. God bless the U.S. of A and our allies for fucking killing terrorists. Hell yeah, dude. This bro's in hell right now, by the way.
Khamenei, if he did die, if he died in his act, especially during the holy month of Ramadan.
They blew him up. They blew him up good. They painted the walls with Khamenei.
Inshallah, he gets the highest rank in Jannah and he gets eternal paradise. He gets the highest rank, he gets martyrdom. That's the highest achievement we can get.
This is coming from a man who was groomed into Islam at the age of 25, all right? Imagine what happens if you're groomed into Islam as a child. Sneeko was not raised Muslim. He was not Muslim as a kid, all right? He was born and raised in the United States of America. Understand what we're dealing with. And this guy thinks that the terrorist, pedophile, mass killer, all right, killed tens of thousands of his own people, millions of people in the region, all right? Whether it's Iraq or it's in Lebanon or it's in Syria or it's in Yemen, all right? He directly caused all these deaths, all right? Understand that. He thinks this guy's going to heaven as a martyr because he was killed by the United States for threatening to kill us for 47 years.
But it's a reminder that this life is short.
Yeah, a reminder that this life is short. This guy, Sneeko, all right, groomed into Islam at 25, already supports terrorist pedophiles. All right, imagine what happens if you're groomed into Islam as a child. Well, the reality is you don't really have to imagine. I'll show you. This is a guy in Gaza. You know, he survived what they're calling a genocide. I have a 7-month-old baby. I'm ready to strap an explosive belt on him and send him to Tel Aviv. Yeah, and we're supposed to coexist with these people and bring them into our countries? Like, this is what a dad is saying about their child. I can't even imagine that, by the way. Like, this is alien to me. All right, so when I'm looking into the motivations of potential terror attacks, you have to understand that this is an alien mindset that you are not supposed to rationalize and understand and just be like, oh, he does it for notoriety, or oh, he just does it because he has nothing left to lose. Nothing left to lose. This child barely started living. A 7-month-old baby. He's planning on turning him into a martyr. Are you serious? All right, here is Iran, all right, the culture that we are currently trying to topple, all right, this Islamic regime. This is them holding up their babies as future martyrs. Not even exaggerating.
Martyrdom is a hugely important concept here in the Islamic Republic of Iran. We're currently at an event where hundreds of women hold their babies into the air to show that they're willing to offer their children as martyrs for God and for Imam Hussein. All of that goes back to the legendary Battle of Karbala, where Imam Hussein held his baby into the air.
It's an entire religion based on this. All right, I'm not trying to be Islamophobic here or anything. I'm just trying to explain to you that, quite literally, this does not really mesh with Western values so much. Now, there are a lot of Muslims that aren't really that religious, all right? They don't actually follow, they'll fast on Ramadan, but they don't actually follow this stuff. But the actual religious ones, they all believe this. In fact, the religion demands it, all right? Like, dude, what is this? What depravity is this? This is who we're fighting in Iran, by the way. And we wonder why they didn't surrender after they were obliterated. Obviously they didn't surrender, because dying is the highest honor for these people. It's insane. That's why I'm always surprised when they call America terrorists, because, bro, that's literally the highest civilian honor in Islam. What are you doing? And again, I'm not saying that I'm justifying the murder of, like, children in a school or airstrikes on civilians or anything like that. It's obviously a tragedy. I'm not trying to say that. Obviously, these kids did nothing wrong. But, like, let's be honest with ourselves for just a second. What do you think they're going to grow into? Not justifying killing them, but I am very much justifying not bringing them into our countries. I just want to make that distinction very clear. So, yeah, we're toppling a regime that's this, all right? Holding their babies into the airs as martyrs. These are not babies who have nothing to lose. That's not why they're doing this. All right? Like, dude, look at these people. Look how they pray. All right? This is a Palestinian man. I ask Allah for one thing. If he chooses and honors me as a martyr, let my son be a martyr and come with me. What the actual fuck is happening? This is retarded. This is not a normal culture. This is not Western values. These people cannot assimilate. And then I see people go, oh, we need to import 1 million refugees from Gaza. No, we fucking don't. Oh, no, it's only because they're getting bombed in the Middle East that they're doing this shit. No, that is not why. Oh, it's because they have nothing to lose. No, it's not because they have nothing to lose. It's because it's the brave thing to do. You realize we're up against a death cult here, all right? And this is not every Muslim. I'll repeat myself. It's not every Muslim. It is specifically the ones that actually follow the religion to the T. And I know this is the shit you're not allowed to say because you're not allowed to acknowledge that people are different and that some cultures are actually inferior. I've heard a big streamer get into trouble when he called a culture inferior. Well, he was right. Some cultures are fucking inferior. This isn't a controversial topic, all right? And to immediately debunk the argument, you can always say, when was American culture better? When we had slaves or when we didn't have slaves? Every single leftist will say the culture was better when we don't have slaves. Well, that answers it all. That means that some cultures are inferior and some cultures aren't. Well, this one, the one where they're martyring their babies, that shit's inferior. And quite literally, that shit can't really assimilate. I'm not gonna lie. All right, dude, the Palestinian child's in Jenin. All right, like, dog, what are we doing? Like, seriously, bro? Are we serious? Oh, it's just a baby. Yeah, the baby. Like, when you're raised this way, it actually does change you a little bit. Like, this is how Iran treats children. They don't actually have an issue. They'll rape kids. Why wouldn't they do this?
What you're seeing here is a bunch of school children, ages between 8 and 13, who are being lined up outside, handcuffed with bags over their heads because they were singing anti-regime slogans.
This is who we're up against in Iran.
This is the type of filth that we are dealing with the Islamic regime. I don't know if any of you watching this are fathers, but could you fucking imagine? This is why we need to keep our voices up.
Well, the left doesn't care. The left actually doesn't care. They're the pro-pedophile party, it seems. But the reality is this that we're dealing with. All right, like, dude, this is a story that's absolutely insane. Obviously, these images are AI, but super important to note how Iran actually fought during the Iraq War. In the Iraq War from 1980 to 1988, Iraq placed a lot of landmines. Well, how did Iran actually figure out where the landmines are? They took children, ages 6 to 10, that were too young to hold assault rifles, and they would have them walk over the desert through the minefields, and they would blow up. But they would clear the minefield. Human waves to clear minefields with their bare feet, but don't worry, their moms let them do it because the children were promised martyrdom. So the moms were totally cool with it. Like, it is shocking that we need to tolerate this, and we need to import this, and we need to acknowledge and make believe that actually all cultures are the same. We got to stay very, very far away from some cultures. We got to keep them somewhere else. We don't need to import them here. Like, what the fuck am I looking at over here? And you think these kids won't grow up to want to kill Jews? Like, are we even serious for like a half a second? Like, these guys, it literally says in the Quran, quote, Jews and Christians are the worst of creatures. Direct quote from the Quran. Look it up. It's a direct and utter quote. Like, why are we surprised, bro? Seriously?
So this is what we doing. So we're praying at churches now. That's what we doing, Sheikh. Wow. Astaghfirullah. Look at the brothers lining up at the church. Assalamu alaikum, brothers. So where are we, man? We at the church? Y'all praying at the church? Y'all praying at the church? What are we doing here, man? Why have we gathered here?
Great question.
Okay, mashallah. We're going to convert the church into a masjid.
They convert churches into mosques. Oh, that explains it.
Okay, man. Y'all was scaring me for a minute.
قد خطبة حبيبي قد فرد خطبة يلا إن الحمد لله ما شاء الله.
Hey, beginning stages.
Beginning stages. This is how it starts. And there it is. Nope, this is not at all coming here to conquer us and destroy Western civilization. They are coming to assimilate and make, probably, I was told, pretty incredible stuff. All right, this is from everyone's favorite political commentator, Secular Talk. All right, the Iranians didn't rape kids on Epstein's Island and kick 18 million people off Medicaid. Yeah, because Iran is Epstein's Island.
If you just read the Quran, it is halal. It would be halal to have sexual intercourse with a 5-year-old. Chapter 65, verse 4. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us.
By the way, this is not someone criticizing Islam. This is Mohammed Hijab. This is a pro-Islam advocate.
Who you can divorce and who you cannot divorce. And then he says, وَاللَّائِ لَمْ يَحِدْنَ.
Wow.
وَاللَّائِ لَمْ يَحِدْنَ. And the ones who had never been pubescent before.
That's right. Islam teaches you how to properly divorce prepubescent wives. What is the implication there, sir?
And by the way, this is very important, yeah? I want all Muslims to be aware of this. The reason why we don't have sexual intercourse with 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds and 7-year-olds or whatever is not because of puberty.
Oh.
Wait a minute, what did you say? It's not because of puberty, because that verse in the Quran actually says lam yahidn. They never had puberty before. You can't go around that. The Quran doesn't say anywhere in the Quran that the woman has to be pubescent.
Aha.
I dare you.
This is in England, by the way.
To find one verse in the Quran where it says you're not allowed to marry someone based on harm, or you're not allowed to have sexual intercourse based on harm, or you're not allowed to marry someone based on puberty. Get me?
Yeah. So, no, you're right. Iran doesn't have Epstein's Island. You're right. You're totally right, bro. Because Epstein did nothing wrong according to Islam. That's why they didn't have Epstein's Island, in case you were paying attention. All right. So, yeah, in response...
of the people that do these bombings and do these shootings, and this is true with gang shootings, it's true with, you know, like, it's true in prisons, it's true everywhere. Like, the overwhelming majority are guys without, like, really any sort of, like, hope for the future. Like, that's really the reality. It doesn't matter whether you're in the Bloods, the Crips, the Muslim Brotherhood, or the Aryan Brotherhood. It's all the same people. It's the same demographic. It's young men with no sense of hope to the future, and
No, it's actually not. It's actually called jihad. It's a holy war, and these people will literally blow themselves up for their god if it means they could take some infidels with them. All right? Waking up is realizing the fact that, no, you cannot use basic Western psychology based on our Western values and our basic understanding of humanity on a death cult that quite literally will blow themselves up if it means they could kill you, and that's the highest civilian honor. I'm not saying this to criticize Asmongold. I'm just saying this to raise awareness. This is raising awareness, ladies and gentlemen. You see, I consider myself something of an activist. And I'm really glad that the conversation is actually moving away from illegal immigrants, which obviously all have to go. That's not even up for debate. Like, that's super obvious. No matter how many retards will tell you that the GDP is higher because people invaded our country and are raping our women and shit, I actually don't give a fuck about what your mindset is. We have a country, we have borders, they need to go. The conversation has shifted to denaturalizations. All right, realize what we're doing here. All right, we have been psyoped. And in my opinion, if not for people like Elon Musk buying Twitter that gave us a place to actually have conversations, no one would even be aware of this. All right, so many people had to silence themselves online and silence themselves for discourse because either they'd cancel you or they'd just straight up ban you. The reality is we are allowed to talk about this now, and we must be aware of what's going on before the England thought police comes to arrest you. Remember, in England, the response to Islamic grooming gangs was arresting people criticizing Islamic grooming gangs. Well, this isn't England. This is the United States of America, and we're gonna fucking talk about this shit. People don't realize the level of radicalization that is coming. I'm doing my best to raise awareness and radicalize a couple of you motherfuckers, but the reality is, this is only the beginning of the tidal wave. The reason why Western civilization is the greatest civilization in the history of the world is because Western civilization is based on biblical values and biblical principles. We are importing barbarians that do not share those values and those principles, and we're finding out the hard way. Now, we got to talk about the leftists that are bringing them in. So this is Nate Friedman. Nate Friedman is a journalist who basically went to a pro-Iran rally. For some reason, this is a thing, and we're not deporting all these people. I don't know why. I'm told it's because of America and stuff, but the reality is that's because we're weak and retarded, and we actually need to start deporting these people. So these guys literally went to a pro-Iranian regime rally, which is insane. They are literally the enemy that we are in the middle of a war with, all right? But they went to defend those guys. So now we have to figure out exactly what is going through their minds.
Can y'all just give us some space? If you just back up behind there, please.
Is he not allowed to stand in the middle of New York City?
It's public.
Y'all are media? This is public property. Why is he not allowed to stand here? Well, because, again, you have to understand the obvious comedy here that we've already come to accept as people. Foreigners will come into our land and tell the natives that they're not allowed to be here. Like, just understand the hypocrisy and retarded framing that we need to just accept as normal.
Oh, yeah. Are you in media?
I am, yeah.
You're a reporter?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So you can back up over there. See where all
Excuse me, what the fuck? This is public property.
the reporters are right now?
I do see them, yeah.
Yeah, so just like back up.
That's
so
Nate Friedman. He's a right-winger. This piece of shit, Nate Friedman.
Yeah, so you
He's
can
a
back
piece of
up.
fucking garbage.
And? You're not allowed to be a right-winger in America these days? I guess not. Thank you.
He's the one that said they're all paid protesters.
You can back
Yeah,
up.
they are paid protesters.
A piece of fucking garbage.
Why don't you back up? Why don't you back up? I don't understand. This is a Washington Square Park. Why can't I stand here? What gives you the right? You're worshiping a terrorist who's killed.
Nate Friedman, he's a piece of shit. He's a right-winger. He said they were all paid protesters.
Why don't you back up?
This motherfucker, he's a piece
Park
of
for
shit.
everyone. When you're
This
celebrating.
is a public park, and these guys are there celebrating a terrorist, and they have the right to kick people out of the public square. Like, understand, because we are so cucked as a society that we're afraid to be labeled as racist, we are literally getting conquered, bro. I mean, New York's already been colonized, but like this, we are getting conquered in front of everyone's eyes, and no one's doing anything about it because we're too cucked to do anything about it.
A terrorist. I can walk wherever I want.
Trash. Trump reshared his video. Elon Musk reshared him. He's a big right-winger. He's called Nate Friedman. I ran down on him, and he was talking shit about me on Saturday. He was like, she fucks up my lives. Yes, I do. I show my tits. Nate Friedman here. Nate Friedman, this piece of shit.
This is the level of deranged liberal woman that you have to deal with. She sees a right-winger and she immediately gets naked to ruin his live stream so he can't broadcast it on YouTube. Dude, that is incredible. Like, dog, the objectification of women, it's always been a leftist thing. This is insanity. Like, the fact that she just will admit that publicly. She gets naked for right-wingers to ruin their recording. This is fucking unhinged. Like, these are the people that are literally trying to conquer us and destroy our culture.
Get right here, fuck him. He's trash.
Get out.
Yeah, get the fuck out. We paid protesters. He just dropped the video. Don't touch her. Don't touch nobody. Don't touch nobody, nigga. Don't touch her either. Don't touch. You back up. You back up.
This is incredible, honestly. Like, this is such a perfect microcosm for what we're dealing with here, right? And quite literally, it's the left allying with Islam, who has zero overlapping values, but they'll ally up regardless because they both have the same goal: the destruction of Western civilization. That's their literal collective goal. So they're working together, two polar opposites, right? Here we have a person in like a hijab scarf, and here we have someone who literally gets naked to ruin live streams. Polar opposite ideologies, except they have the same enemy, God, and Western civilization, which is based on biblical values that they want to destroy.
That's the Nate Friedman. Get the fuck out.
Can I say?
Why is the NYPD trying to escort this guy out? Why is Zohran Mamdani's police officers trying to remove this guy from the public square? He's not doing anything.
And here?
I'm
gonna have everybody step out.
Why does she have the right to push me out of a public
You in
park?
the cockroach. Get the fuck out, bitch.
Can you
Get
stop
out,
talking?
bitch.
Talk over here. Come on.
Get out,
We gotta pull you out of here. Come on.
Bye. We're paid. Get the fuck out.
This is insane.
That's Nate Friedman. Get the fuck out, Nate.
And the military and the police literally caves. They cave because, I mean, that's who pays their bills.
Get out, bitch. Bye.
There it is.
Bye, bitch. I'm ruining
Welcome to New York City under Mamdani, ladies and gentlemen, where you can worship a terrorist.
Yeah.
True.
Talk to me about my car.
Yeah, I'm talking to him already.
Just come with me. I'm the boss.
Stupid. Bye, bitch. Have fun.
Oh, dude, this is perfect. This video is cinema. This is insane.
Get her under control. Have fun.
Come over here.
Bye.
You don't try to talk to me.
Have fun, bitch.
So what's going on? How you doing?
I'm good.
What's your plan for tonight?
My plan is I'm speaking to the people that are setting up this vigil for a terror.
For a literal terrorist who declared war on our country. These people need to get deported. Like, they're literally allying with an enemy military. Like why? Why do we need to be tolerant to this? We don't. The answer is we don't. But for some reason, because of social voodoo, we need to be tolerant to this on our streets.
So you're just kind of just reporting in?
I walked in there and
I know
she's basically a fire alarm. I don't know how long she can do this bit for, honestly. I mean, she harasses every single right-wing journalist that she finds. I know that this falls under free speech, but she harasses us, she follows us.
She gets in your face, I get it.
She gets in your face. She's also been arrested multiple times.
I know her very well.
Right? And you guys know her very well.
Oh, everyone knows her. That's nice.
Well,
yes, I do.
At some point, I think there needs to be accountability for someone like that. Because it's disturbing the peace, right?
It's also First Amendment. But like I said, we'll look.
I understand it's a fine line,
right,
but
it's a fine line. We'll take care of this.
We just need to separate.
Like what she's doing right now, right? At what point is this not harassment?
You also got to remember too, this is a protest, a little bit different, right? People have different expectations at a protest.
It's a First Amendment.
It's a First Amendment thing. This is what happens, right? You know what I mean?
First Amendment makes total sense. But when I went into there, right? This is a public park. Yes. I get in there. Some woman wrapped up with the keffiyeh comes up to me and says, I need to push back because I'm press. So all of a sudden, she's dictating what goes on. Where it should, in my opinion, it should be you gentlemen who says what's legal and what's not legal.
Confrontation.
Right.
That's our job.
So is she allowed to put? Forget about this woman. This is obviously a paid bit that she has. I don't care about her. I'm talking about the keffiyeh woman who's pushing me off to the side. Is she allowed to say press has to be over there? Is she allowed to just push me away? Is that against the law?
Push you away? No.
No, she pushed me toward the side, and she said you can't be here.
But I will say what though. But if there's some sort of, conflict between you two, we're going to separate the parties.
You have to separate, yeah. You can't be together. Again, you have two different ideologies. You can't be together anyway.
Excuse me? What? My ideology is a problem because I'm pro-America instead of pro-terrorist? My ideology is an issue here? I need to be removed because my ideology of, I don't know, liking America? Are we serious?
Can I ask you a question? I'm a writer for Tablet magazine. I mean, I guess, you're infamous to them for some reason. Why is that? May I ask? I mean, this is kind of a stupid.
I would love to ask them that. Why don't you come with me and we can ask them?
Great.
Bro, I appreciate your stuff.
Oh, thank you.
Big time. Big time.
Thank you.
Who next? He's coming back, everybody! Look, he's coming back!
Before we step back into the vigil, you might have recognized the man on this guy's shirt. He's running the vigil, and on his shirt...
Oh, no way! He has Sinwar on his shirt. Dude, we have to deport these people. We do not need to live in the same culture with this. Yahya Sinwar is the guy who started the October 7th terrorist attacks. He is a designated terrorist by the United States of America. He's dead. He's rotting in hell right now with Ayatollah Khamenei. They're spooning with Satan down there.
Is Sinwar, the architect of October 7th.
My God.
The shirt writes, "Sometimes a story needs a flood," referring to the Al-Aqsa flood.
Which is what they call the October 7th terrorist attack. Like, it's insane. It's actually insane.
Which is what Hamas called their October 7th operation. So who is this guy glorifying not just one terrorist leader, but two? Meet Shaki Darwish. When he's not praising terrorists, he's just a GW graduate in the Peace Studies program. Go figure. He has been right in the middle of campus chaos representing Students for Justice in Palestine at the New School. He participated in the GW debate team's International Peace Project in Bogota, Colombia. I'm not sure what was said, but I'm pretty sure he lost by default. Here he is speaking at a webinar where he praises the Syrian resistance against America and quoted groups like the PFLP condemning attacks on Syria as part of a Zionist entity and U.S. administration scheme. This is someone who celebrates mass murder and studied peace in college. This is why no one takes the UN seriously anymore, because these so-called peace activists are the ones causing the terror.
Look, he's coming back!
Your voice is gonna get. You're gonna lose your voice in a second.
You're gonna be here,
please. Just walk away.
Actually, they said I could walk through here.
No,
walk through.
The police. I get that you don't. I see you at every single protest.
Yeah, you wanna fuck up, right, bitch?
You see this? They literally took over the city with you guys.
there's no law and order anymore.
Complete insanity, dude. That's the craziest shit I've ever seen. All right, well, let's see what the pro-Iran protesters are saying about this, because obviously the pro-terrorists they've dominated the entire square. Apparently they own New York now or something. I don't know who elected terrorists. Oh wait, never mind. But here's what the pro-Iran actual Iranians are saying. All right, don't listen to the terrorists. Let's see what the Iranians have to say about us doing this.
She has family in Iran still that she talks to every day.
All my family, all my friends, they are in Iran. I still can talk to them sometimes when they have internet. And none of these guys, none of them, they are Iranian. I'm Iranian. I know better than all of this.
Isn't it incredible that the actual Iranians are kept out of the public square, but the pro-terrorists are literally given free reign, where they kick out everyone that's like, I guess, pro-America? Like, just understand the framing that's happening here. We're taking it as normal because I guess the left owns being loud and obnoxious in public, but this is not normal. We do not need to accept this as normal. We need to destroy this.
In Iran, they're happy. They're fucking happy because 47 years they fight against this regime. We tried to protest to change this regime, but we couldn't because they killed more than 50,000 people just in 2 days, just in fucking 2 days. So right now, the only way that we get off this regime is this war. So please just shut the fuck up if you don't know about my country. Don't talk about my country. That's it.
Dude, the thing is, she was probably a leftist. She's probably a leftist. She probably voted for Mamdani. She's an immigrant. I'm not trying to frame. I'm just statistically. But then your eyes open up and you realize what your party actually is. Your party is just pro-terrorist.
What do you think about what President Trump's strategy is? Do you approve of what he's doing?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Trump. Really, thank you. He was the only one that he was brave, that he did that. We really appreciate that.
What do you say to these leftists who say that, we shouldn't be involved in any other conflicts?
I try to talk to them very calm and explain what's happened to me and what's happened to all the Iranian in Iran. But they don't want to accept it because they have this ideology that they just should fight against Trump and Israel. But they don't open their eyes and see what's happening in Middle East. It's not just about Iranian. All the Muslim, all the Arab countries, they're suffering from Islamic Republic. Islamic Republic helped the Bashar Assad to kill more than 500,000 Syrians. Islamic Republic did that. In Yemen, they helped the Houthis to kill more than 350,000 people. In Hezbollah,
that's what I said.
All that Hezbollah is proxies of Islamic Republic. They ruined the Middle East.
Yeah.
Why Muslim people, they don't fight against this regime? They should be the first people to fight against them. I can't even believe.
Because they hate America and they're terrorists. I know that you're not allowed to say these things, but maybe that's the case.
These guys, they never lived in Middle East. They never had this experience to live in country like that. They rape us. They rape the girls in the prison.
Again, it's like she's just everything I'm saying. It's like everything I'm saying just ends up being correct. It turns out. I know it's controversial. You're not allowed to say these things, but my stance is this actually. This is my political stance.
Could join the City Watch.
All right, that's what I have to say.
Stop raping, sir.
Stop raping, sir. But that's not the leftist standpoint. The left is the pro-rape party, so they don't actually like this at all.
And I can't even believe.
Like, again, they can't believe what they're looking at. They thought that they were just nice, wholesome leftists. They were wholesome chungus. They were fighting for women's rights. They're like fighting for the rights of women. And then you wake up and you're like, wait a second, they're literally pro-Islamic terrorist rapists? Well, wake up and smell the coffee, motherfucker. You've been lied to, bitch.
How they let them to do this in fucking America?
Great question. Great question. Fantastic question, actually.
I don't know. Sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's insane. It's absolute insanity. Now, in fact, the Iranian people are so pro-America that The Iranian people in Iran are literally giving us intelligence. All right, Iranian citizens are sending videos to American and Israeli intelligence exposing where the regime and the military officials are hiding. Well, they're underground right now. They are very underground. Pete Hegseth just said this literally while I'm recording. And honestly, it's insane.
His leadership is in no better shape. Desperate and hiding, they've gone underground.
Yep.
Cowering. That's what rats do.
Oh,
we know the new so-called not-so-supreme leader is wounded and likely disfigured. He put out a statement yesterday, a weak one, actually, but there was no voice and there was no video. It was a written statement. He called for unity. Apparently killing tens of thousands of protesters is his kind of unity. Iran has plenty of cameras and plenty of voice recorders. Why a written statement? I think you know why. His father dead. He's scared, he's injured, he's on the run, and he lacks legitimacy. It's a mess for them.
Yeah.
Who's in charge? Iran may not even know.
True.
With every passing hour, we know, and we know they know, that the military capabilities of their evil regime are crumbling.
Yeah, so the reality is we're winning, the Iranian people are happy, but the terrorists that we're importing into our country are obviously very upset. Now, here's a pretty massive update. Update on operation planning for Al-Quds Day. All right, just to understand, the Toronto police is revealing that they need to be very careful in leftoid Canada on Al-Quds Day, which is the last Friday of Ramadan. All right, they have to be very careful. They were scared of terrorism. Why would terrorism happen on a holiday in Ramadan? You mean to tell me that the people celebrating Ramadan might be more inclined to do terrorism? Well, I don't know, man. Meanwhile, in Toronto, an individual is wearing the uniform of the IRGC, a terrorist organization, but an official terrorist organization. The police doesn't care. All right, so I wonder why they're expecting terrorism in libtard Canada. We are told we need to tolerate this. We are told that tolerance is a virtue. They all lied. Tolerance is not a virtue. Intolerance is a virtue. We do not need to live like this, in fact. In fact, we need to destroy this ideology completely. We're at war with a regime of terrorists, and we have people on the left, people on CNN, people in the streets, and Islamists supporting our enemy in a war. This is treason, and we need to take it seriously. Oh no, Nux, they're gonna cancel you. You're Islamophobic. You know, I'd be a lot less Islamophobic if Muslims would stop killing people all the time. I'm Islamo-fatigued. I'm not Islamophobic. The fear is, unfortunately, very rational.